chair and say his name 5 times, he'll appear behind you, breathing down your neck.
Close your eyes and count to 7. When you wake, you'll be in heaven.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I need to update my intro. I don't know. I realized that I didn't have my normal spooky one for the other night when I had the ladies on.
Yeah.
So I went in and done that up in about 7 minutes. I was hurrying up, I've always got tabs open, but I had an extra amount of tabs. Hurrying up and typing, trying to get catchphrases and sound effects and stuff.
Right.
So can you name all of the voices within that clip I just put, that intro?
Oh, well, thanks for telling me. Well, I heard Tony Todd, Candyman.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was me.
Was it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you're a very good ventriloquist. I'd have to hear it again. Is that when you started your show, my laptop doesn't get butters and
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see if chat can, if they were paying attention. There's some in there. I think might.
Oh, the little girl from Poltergeist. I heard her.
They're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was her. It wasn't me. I couldn't make my voice go that high.
Dana, it's okay, Dana.
I like the first one.
Yeah.
And that's usually the way things go. Other than like Friday the 13th, there were some good ones within that.
I mean, anyone can do.
Yeah.
They filmed that in Jersey. You know that first movie.
Was it in Jersey? Huh.
Yep. Up at Camp Blood.
Yeah. What was it? Scream, when they said who is the one doing all the murdering in Friday the 13th?
The mother.
And everybody said it was Jason. Wrong. It was the mother.
Right.
Everybody forgets about the mother,
Betsy Palmer.
Yeah. Now, I made a video about this earlier today and figured might as well go ahead and have a conversation about it today, or tonight rather, about the pyramids in the Giza Pyramids. And I forget which one it is. It's one of the second largest one, I think, or the largest one, where they had been doing this study.
Yeah.
Where they're using ultrasonic sound waves or something to go through rock. And that's what they intended it, just to see where the hidden compartments, or if there was any hidden compartments within the pyramid. And they actually scanned below it.
Mm-hmm.
And these are, and you would think, oh, this must be machines that they hook up next to the pyramid and stuff. No, it's coming from space.
Yeah.
It's a satellite that does this, that peers within that pyramid. And that's when they found out that they scanned from above, because that's where the pyramid is. It actually scanned through the pyramid and they found what's beneath it. And that's the amazing thing right there. And I went and, because there's tons of videos out now, and this is all this press release has only been out since the 15th. There's lots of videos about this. There's tons and tons of different ones, but the fact that from ground level to the bottom so far is 2 kilometers deep.
Wow.
And you know how big the pyramid is. It's a large pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the dimensions they're going with. And I'll go ahead and re-show some of the pictures if I can find them again. Well, here's one of them. Share screen. There we go. And there's one, and this is not the full one either. And again, these look like transistors or coils of some sort to me.
So, are you saying that what they use, the sonic stuff that they use, or sounding, whatever you want to call it, they actually saw those cylindrical pillars underneath the pyramid?
Yeah, and this is the pyramid itself right here. And these things are within the pyramid. There, I believe they said there's 5 of them.
Right.
And there's five levels to these structures that are inside the pyramid. And this area right here, that one, is what they've already uncovered by themselves.
Wow.
And it went and scanned that, and I went and did some more research about this, because I thought this was very interesting. I thought this was like some kind of a wiring system or something, but this is walkways that go along the whole structure underneath the pyramid itself. And again, these things are, I forget what I said it was. Let me find it real quick. And there's 648 meters. That's how much the cylinders are, the 8 cylinders.
Wow.
Yeah, and above there are the 5 structures. And like I said, what's real interesting is those structures within the pyramid itself. They have arched roofs. Like, when it rains, water goes off. Why
Right.
would you need that if it's inside of a pyramid? Which that's why I said it's very strange. And to me, if you're going to be making up something crazy or something like that, this wouldn't be the thing that I would see being made up or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's definitely technology that's
yeah,
wasn't of that. Well, if it was at that time, it was from another race.
well, that's the thing. It was 2500 BC.
Right.
2500 BC. That's
An old battery.
Yeah. Well, see, let me find an image real quick. If anybody's watched the movie Stargate, the actual movie, not the series, I'll go ahead and share it. this is that popped right out to me. And I'm not saying I'm expert on it or anything because it's just what I've seen. But on Stargate, what would happen is the aliens, the the goal, I can't say it the way they do it, but would come, this spaceship would come down and land on top of the pyramid, and that was its landing area. Now, to me, what that looks like down below, um, the boxes at the very bottom look like it would be something that would hold a charge.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is to direct the current up through the pyramid. I'm not saying I'm right or anything, but it works. just the idea. Maybe this is where Stargate got the idea from. I don't know.
Could be.
But in the series, when they did land on certain pyramids, they did draw energy from the planet through this pyramid. Is that how they powered their ships to go to another galaxy or something? I don't know. It's very strange.
Like a big diode for communications and
Yeah,
battery and
yeah. There's endless things, and I'll go ahead and show you another image. And this has got a bunch of images put together that somebody had found mainly all the images from. And if you look here, the one in the middle here,
right.
that kind of resembles what they found under the pyramid, right?
Yeah. Is that on that kind of looks like it's underwater?
Yeah. Well, you know what that is?
That's
Those
a
are
drilling.
cooling. Those are cooling rods in a nuclear
Okay.
reactor.
Gonna say either that or it's a drilling platform out in the Gulf of America.
Yeah. But yeah, and here's another thing that everybody thought that was under the pyramids. It was long, things like in Washington D.C. I forget what they're called, obelisks,
Yeah.
and that only the point was sticking out of the sand. But as they're finding out, there is multiple things in there. And if you look over here, this is one of the structures, one of the 5 structures inside the pyramid. And it gives you and that's the thing, they give you the measurements and everything of what's in there. And it has all these different floors to it, and it has the arched roof right here. And some of them have a balcony on the front of it or on the side or whatever direction it is.
And just quick question: they were able to figure out all these floors and configurations just from space?
Yep.
Okay.
And nobody's really talking about that by itself. They're more concerned about what's happening here. You know, what's underneath the pyramid. Not to mention there's a satellite up there that can look in your house and tell you what's in your rooms and what's in your basement and what's in your bunkers, if you have any. You know, that's pretty freaky.
Yeah.
And this one up here is inside the pyramid again, and at the very bottom of the pyramid. And there's walkways, and they say the white ones are the ones that they've created or that they've opened up, and these other ones are like the gray ones and everything are the ones that they've never seen yet that's within this pyramid. And this is just one pyramid. That's the only pyramid they supposedly have, or allegedly have
Allegedly. Yeah.
have gotten into.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Aren't most of the or all of the pyramids, aren't they lined up all over the globe? I mean, and you can draw a lateral line. And
They
one
say
way
they
or the
are.
other, they connect.
Yeah. But then again, you could say like every city is lined up together.
Yeah,
Depends which direction you start your line at.
yeah.
That's like, the number 23, isn't it? You can make the number 23 into any number somehow, or in that, you were born this day and this day, and it comes out to 23 of something. There the Grinch guy, I forget what his name is. He made a movie. It was in a movie 20. I think that it was 23.
Oh, Jim Carrey?
Yeah. It was one where he wasn't funny or making weird faces.
Right. Well, I think the sea holds a lot of,
Oh yeah.
Obviously mysteries that, I mean, you're talking like the Marianas Trench. I mean, the depth of that, there's probably species down there that we'll never see.
Yeah.
That are still, kicking around.
And that's the thing is, let me see that this guy, Filippo Biodoni or something like that. Yeah, he's one of the main guys in the University of Pisa that
as in the Leaning Tower of.
Yeah. And it's the abbreviation of SCAR, and it's synthetic aperture radar. That's what it stands for. It's a Doppler tomographical that reveals details of undiscovered high resolution internal structures of the Great Pyramid of Giza, or Giza, whichever way you want to say it. But
they can read a penny on the sidewalk from space and tell you.
Oh yeah, they've been able to do this, but this is through buildings, through rock,
right?
And it depends how much power they put into it, how deep it goes. Because they weren't even thinking about under the pyramid. They just wanted to do a scan of the pyramid, and whoops, it went 2 kilometers down, and they found that there was more stuff under there. Now the thing is that the only, now they made this briefing, and they showed these pictures, and they showed the scans and everything at this conference or press relief or whatever it was on the 15th. And they started this at 2022. And it just now coming out with it. So wonder how long this has been available. How long, and what would be the effect on you if your house was being scanned? What effect would that have on you?
Effect as in, you mean physically?
Yeah.
Radio,
or mentally.
The beam is coming down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you go on Zillow once a month, there's a different picture of your house. So always somebody watching.
Yeah. Because Google Maps, there's aerial views of your house. Not to mention, because there is I'm sure everybody's seen the Google little van driving around with all the cameras on them. Because they're not supposed to have when they're coming around, because people do things for the camera. There's a part where the guy's got an axe and this fake body parts are all over the yard. And he's like this as the Google van goes by, and 3 months later they look at their house and the dad's out there with the axe. I remember there was a place in Russia that still to this day they don't know if it was staged or it was real. There was a pier, and you zoom into it, and there were a couple parts of a body and blood all over the place.
Wow.
All over the dock.
It's probably whatever satellite they're using. It's probably not your standard communication satellite. It's got to be military.
Yeah, that's
one would think.
Yeah, that's the freaky part. And in the video that they show, and I don't want to show the video because I always get in trouble when I show videos for some reason. But I guess it took, and the same guy who runs this whole thing, he developed his own software to use this for, looking through structures and things like that.
Right.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, bud?
Greetings, gentlemen. Hello, everybody out there in chat.
Let me see. There is dozens of tomographical scar images, and it's not the scar on your face or anything, it's SAR, obtained from different angles, enabling the 3D reconstruction of inside the pyramid of the Giza pyramid and deep beneath the surface of the plateau. So that seems to mean that they scanned more than what they're saying.
It's been interesting. It's been that kind of story has been kind of building up.
Yeah.
I know it was I don't know, about a month ago, allegedly they discovered a new tomb or something of a pharaoh I remember hearing about, and then probably around that same time, about a month ago, pretty sure the guy Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Allegedly he went below and explored the tomb of Osiris. I don't know if you heard about that article.
Yeah. That was, you don't know.
You don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those allegedly things.
Yeah.
So this says SAR is synthetic aperture radar. Is a specific satellite that can capture imagery in all weather conditions, day or night. SAR is a microwave radar signal to the Earth's surface to detect.
It's like a sonar for Earth's crust almost.
Yeah.
But it produces a radar pulse.
Yeah.
Produce high resolution images even through clouds and in total darkness.
Well, see, that's what the original use of that satellite was, but with this the new software or whatever, the way they recalibrate it or whatever the scientist people do, it actually went through stone and stuff, not just clouds and trees and stuff. It went through like stone objects. So that's when they thought that they could use it for looking into the pyramid.
Hmm.
I forget the guy's name. I read some of his work, like, because I've always found the pyramids and stuff like that to be fascinating. But
Yeah.
there was this guy, one of hundreds of thousands that explored that area, but he was late 1800s, maybe early 1900s. He was talking about the underneath, the elaborate structures underneath, and not so much kind of what they have already shown us, but kind of like the stuff you're talking about now, the stuff that people don't normally ever see, let alone know it's there.
Yeah.
Can't remember. I
Because
need
I
to look
remember
it up and
them
see his
trying to
name.
decide, like the Sphinx thing, or they had different names for it, saying what they think's inside, and at the time they didn't know and whatnot, and they trying to determine what it looked like when it was in full bloom and whatnot, because the winds and time and everything dissolve what the statue actually looked
Oh
like.
yeah,
And that's that. Back then when I used to watch that stuff, it was amazing trying to think of what all that stuff looked like and how they built it. And that's one of the things that they talk about is, if this structure goes down 2 kilometers, which is roughly a little more than a mile, isn't it?
yeah.
um that's deep.
hmm
Yeah.
To build something, and those tubes,
Even by
which,
our standards.
which are um all the same size, those tubes that go down that are 600 and something meters, yeah, 648 meters long, each of those cylinder tubes with the little coil thing or whatever it is going around, maybe stairs or something, I don't know, but it looks like a big wire that goes around. There's 8 of those, exactly the same size. How do they do that? Using levers and pulleys and ramps. How did they dig that deep down in there?
Exactly.
at,
Because a
in
kilometer,
BC?
yeah, a kilometer is 1.600 in a mile. So if you got 2 kilometers, you're already past 3.5. You're
Oh,
past 4.
oh, really?
3, yeah.
Okay.
So it's 3 point something miles down.
That's a long time. I
That's
mean,
a lot of digging.
yeah. And you see how big the pyramid is by itself. You see people standing out in front of it. They look real little bitty things.
I love to see it in person.
Oh yeah. Um, Probably not the best time to go visit now, but I would, if somebody was going to give me a free ticket to go there, I would probably go anyway, just to
The
experience.
in Macon, Georgia, the Almoki Mounds, the what they call the Great Mounds of Georgia. I just seen an article this week that it was named. Uh, I think it was Time Magazine's one of their top 100 places to visit in the world, and it was only one of 16 places listed that are in the United States.
Oh, really? Yeah, it seems like everybody's got mounds, and usually they're called Indian mounds. And the thing is, like the ones over here, we have Indian mounds that are probably about, I don't know, about 40 miles from here. They date back before the Indian tribes that were in this area. So why do they still call it Indian mounds? Some say it's because the Indians, and I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but that if they say that they worshipped in those locations because of it was an odd structure, big mounds in the middle of nowhere, you know. But
Yeah, I know. I forget the exact height. I've never been down there to visit them. I need to, especially being here in my state. But they
yeah,
say some of them are 60 plus feet high. And of course, I guess it's really hard to get dates on that type of stuff. But they said that the cultures and civilization that thrived in that area was from about, I want to say about 800 AD to about 1100 AD. That they say the people who made those mounds lived in that area, which is
yeah,
currently Macon, Georgia.
yeah. And you would think if somebody was, and they didn't have wheelbarrows that I know of. They probably had something that they had to drag behind them or something, fill it up
Maybe
with
some
dirt.
type of woven basket, maybe,
Yeah,
or
baskets.
some type of leather satchel. But I don't know if that'd be very practical for moving dirt.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, where did they get this dirt? You would think there would be a big hole somewhere. Plus, if you dig dirt, and usually most areas I know right here, once you start getting so deep, you start getting into sandstone and a lot of rocks and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, you can only go down so far. Yeah, certain
Yeah,
areas. Yeah, I find all that type of stuff fascinating.
yeah. I'm kind of curious um, where they're going to continue going with this, and
Man,
do they have plans of trying to get into those places?
those chambers.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, I mean, everything we know is somebody else told us, but some of the documentaries I've seen, it amazes me how they did it. And then I don't know if they could still be active, but some type of, not like a booby trap, to
yeah,
prevent somebody from getting in there and doing whatever to it. I don't know if something like that would be in place, or I don't know.
yeah. And
Or fly a drone down there or something. I don't know what you could do.
there was one. I don't remember what pyramid it was, but they were having a walkthrough of it and stuff, and there was these sections of stone that was as big as 3 football fields long
Uh,
and didn't have no breaks in it, and they were so, it was almost like a computer cut these stone that it was so square. How does one move something like that? I'm they've showed these videos of people doing it before, but
Yeah, if what they had to work with is what they had to work with by history.
yeah,
Um, I mean, people may think it sounds crazy, but I think it had a lot to do with energy, maybe vibrations, maybe some type of sound, maybe. I think certain individuals probably would have been more in tune to that type of stuff then, if it was how they say it was.
yeah.
I mean, what is it? What's that big, the big church or cathedral in Spain? What's it called? And allegedly, it took like what 600 years to build that thing. I mean, it's massive.
Yeah, I mean, you figure the architect had to pass it down to somebody else. Like, I want it to look like this after I die.
hmm.
And it's just like these pyramids. It had to take years and years and years to make some of that stuff. And they say that's where Rome got so many of the ideas that they had for like indoor plumbing and aqueduct, Can't talk. Aqueducts and things like that.
Yeah, they definitely had help somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that there's aliens or there isn't aliens, but
Yeah.
just like I'm not saying there's a Bigfoot or there isn't a Bigfoot, but unless somebody can 100% prove to me there isn't, I'm not saying there is or there isn't, because unless I see it, um, walking across the street and I know it's not a neighbor playing a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still building that. What?
I forget the name of it. Yeah. Without looking it up, I cannot remember the name. It's real famous.
Stragata, Stragata Familia Cathedral.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Barcelona. It's huge. It's massive.
And that's like the
Notre Dame.
in UK, those weird stones, the Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Stonehenge.
had so many different, variations of what it could have been and whatnot. And it's just not that famous one that everybody goes and looks at. There's multiple ones around there.
See, you ask for a Bigfoot, you get one.
Oh, I seen one. I see one.
I see the Bigfoot there too.
Hey, my great nephew is going to the University of Georgia. Congratulations, Ziggy. Congratulations. Go Dogs.
Yeah.
Oof.
Now he has to start hating Alabama.
I'll give it time. It'll sink in. I love them. Bless their hearts.
My daughter just moved away from Georgia, or not Georgia, but Alabama.
There you go.
She
See, people is learning. They're waking up.
She didn't like it very much. She moved back to New York.
But
you went the wrong direction.
But even like, it's not like a structure or like a current topic. But I mean, there's those type of structures like worldwide. Even like the Moa statues on Easter Island.
Yeah.
All those statues, and for so many years, people thought it was just the heads until they started excavating and seeing it was a whole body underneath there.
Yeah. And where did it come from? There's no stone there. That stone doesn't come from that area.
Yeah.
That's another. And they said, well, they moved them with trees and logs and stuff. There's no trees. Now they've made movies, the movies where that's where all the trees went, is because they used it to build those little statue peoples or whatever they are.
But why go through that much effort just to build those statues, even if it's nothing more than an intimidation factor for people coming in? I mean,
yeah,
to go through that much effort and to outsource those stones wherever they came from. I think I saw a documentary one time where some guy said where they thought they came from. They did some type of test on them. Yeah, that island is so isolated, allegedly. It's just out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And who was it? Oh, one of the captain's guys, not Hook, but not John Sparrow, but
Blackbeard?
No. Was it Cook? I don't know. I can't remember.
Could have been Cook. I know he went through I think he went through a lot of those different channelways on the Pacific.
Yeah. I don't think he was a captain at the time, but he got tossed overboard or something for trying to do a mutiny or something like that.
Yep.
And he ended up there.
Mm-hmm.
All the guide stones. Yeah, they probably won't never find that out.
No.
Even though they had cameras out there.
Yeah, that story went away as quicker than it took to knock them down.
Yeah.
Even like like West Georgia, there's a state park in the place that has the nickname the Baby Grand Canyon. It has canyons and formatures and rock structures similar. If you just seen certain photos from there, you would never guess it was in Georgia. For sure. Unless I told somebody, I told you.
Yeah, somewhere over in, well, because Jennifer talked about the bad Germans. There's a lake over somewhere over there. I don't know if it's in Germany or not. And they were looking for some old art or old thing or something, and they did a sonar things of this lake to see if there was something at the bottom of the lake, and there was an actual structure at the very bottom of it that the bad Germans were in there and doing experiments, and so they say.
Yeah. Allegedly, they were big
Yeah.
into that type of stuff, like the occult and different like artifacts.
Yeah.
Heck, I'm pretty sure we all seen the Indiana Jones movie with them in there.
Yeah.
Was that the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah. Oh, you did that too? Yeah, that was fun. I went there with a group and did that. Half the people didn't want to do it because they were scared. I don't even know if they still do that.
I wonder how far it is down.
I could have told you back then, but not now.
I'd like to see it one day though.
Yeah.
Might not do the donkey, but I'll at least see it.
Yeah. It was an interesting little adventure because there were spots that dropped off, and you look over the side of this donkey and could see down the edge.
Just you and Eeyore and a cliff.
Yeah, and if Eeyore's having a bad day, so are you.
Well, see, that's the thing. Every one of them were tied together and they were tied to the front one, which was the guide.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, wait a minute. And I actually took my foot out of the stirrup on the right side, because that's the side that you go down.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
So if I heard something going down behind me or in front of me, I was up over on the side.
You wouldn't catch me on that. No.
But it's fun. A couple times, by the time we got up the top, everybody hated me, but
almost a mile down.
It'd be real quiet, and the lady was up there. The guide lady was explaining stuff, and then she'd be real quiet, and I go, ah!
You might scare one of the donkeys, and that's oh my God, you did that. You were at it.
I'd hear some really mean cuss words up there.
Yeah,
in the background.
Come back there and pop you one. Wow.
I'd lean over. And I said, "Oh, look, there's a donkey down there." When we got to the top, I hurried up and got on the bus.
Yeah, probably like, where is that jerk?
They're one of the most famous lookouts, and again, I don't know if they still have this, because they have the rock sitting over on the side where you can go up, and it's just a sheer drop off, and it shows where the Grand Canyon splits off, and they everybody takes pictures from a spot, or they did. Now they probably have guide rails around it and stuff. But back then you could go up and look over the side, but now they probably have fences up over it and stuff. My dad used to tell me if you go up to he went up to the Empire State Building and there was no fences or anything, to where if you wanted to do, jump off or throw a water balloon down or something, there was no netting or anything there. Now if you go, it's all still all over the place. Uh-oh. The dumping has started. You prayed all the way down. What about back up? Well, I'll put it this way. It was a lot rougher on the saddle going down than it was going back up. Because that little, and I don't know what they call that little thing that sits in the middle that you hold on to, the horn. Is it called a horn?
I think so.
On a saddle. You're going downhill, and as a guy, it's not very comfortable with that thing between your legs.
Oh, I bet.
Because there's some spots where you go like this, and it's like, oh. So going back up wasn't as bad, but you would feel yourself falling back off the donkey or the mule. There were some that had mule. Well, I can't talk tonight.
The thing.
Yeah. Oh. But if you could have some place to scan, like a area or something that you would think, oh, I wonder what's under there. And what you would probably say Georgia, that the mounds in Georgia.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, there's a few interesting spots I'd like to scan if I could scan it.
Yeah. Somebody said on the video early, let me bring it up. Let me see. Yeah, one said Stonehenge would be a good one to look under. Oak Island.
Oh, God, yeah, that's always been a mystery.
Yeah, the way they've been talking, that documentary thing's been going on forever.
Are you searching for gold or treasure on Oak Island?
I don't know.
They even had a Discovery Channel show about it, I believe, or the History Channel.
Yeah. I don't think the Cat Facts one works anymore.
Any other time, I probably could think of a ton of places. Now I was trying to think of one that's almost impossible.
What was that other one at the ranch? There was a ranch that they were thinking there was aliens and stuff.
Ranch?
Yeah. There was a big show about it, and people went out there investigating it and stuff.
Probably know it too, and it can't slip my mind.
Somebody will get it. Hey, Jeff.
Jeff will know.
What was the question?
There's a ranch or something, but Skywalker, yeah.
Skywalker Ranch. Yep. Yeah.
That one would probably be a good one to scan too, because they said something about waypoints or something like that. Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be real interesting. And again, who knows if, any of this stuff is true or
Alleged.
yeah. um it's one of those things you would have to see.
You just would have to have been there to see it, I guess.
Yeah. And that was a thing, on one of those questions. Would you rather go back in time when the pyramids were being built to watch it, or go into future and see something being done? Now it depends how I was there, because more than likely they put me to work or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
Whether you were like actually there or you were just like reviewing it like you would a TV show or something.
Yeah. I'm just an inspector.
Or if
I'm inspecting your guys' work here.
maybe some type of way you could view it all, but they couldn't see you or something, you know what I mean? Where it wouldn't, nothing like that'll happen. Yeah, you try to come back to reality and they didn't capture you and you out there building a pyramid now. Who is this bearded man? Look at him. Look at him go. Yeah, that'd be horrible if you was time traveling and some type of way got stuck.
Yeah.
Could be good or bad.
Yeah. I was watching Stargate Universe, where they got stuck in this tunnel, and the ship is going to into hyperspace, or whatever they call it on that. And that they have no way of stopping it. And they ended up getting out, and then they started going through stargates trying to get ahead of the ship. And then the ship just mysteriously breaks down in the middle of in between galaxies or universes, or no, galaxies. And because there was nothing out there, and then they actually dialed and got back on the ship. And it's like, if you got left behind, that's where you were living until you died.
Yeah, the void.
Yeah. What is Discord? It's a place to chat and share links and images and a bunch of different stuff. You can do watch togethers and stuff like that. On my Discord, I have a bunch of prepping stuff and things like that.
Got a bunch of my peppers up potted this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I think I waited too long on my herbs and stuff, so I might have to redo them. I went and got me another seed tray. It's got 36 little
cells.
Yeah. And it's the one that has the thing where you can mark down where your plants are and stuff.
Oh, trust me, I know about that. I don't know what type of peppers I got. I know I got a whole crate full of them. They're beautiful. I just don't know what they are yet.
Yeah. Eventually you'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, once they start getting blooms and stuff, like maybe I can see to start separating them, because I do got a couple hot varieties in there. And a ton of flowers. I got a bunch of different I didn't plant any like mammoth sunflowers, but I got a couple of like mid-size and dwarf sunflowers. I got about a tray of those going.
Yeah.
Just trying stuff out, see how it goes, see what I can do.
Yeah, I had sunflowers one year that I wanted to, well, the kids wanted them. And I said, well, we'll give it a try. And that thing was 11, 12 feet tall.
Massive. Yeah, those things can get huge.
And the heads were like huge. We never got any of them. Squirrels and the birds ate them before they were ready to harvest.
Yeah.
But they left everything else alone. Peppers and lavender germinated in 1 week. Yeah, usually my stuff comes up really quickly because I have it heated. I have heat pads and I close off those curtains and everything, and
Makes a difference for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I invested in some, and yeah, they're definitely good to have.
Oh yeah. And that room stays 80 degrees all the time. So for peppers and tomatoes, they come right up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got some got a bunch of different type of greens going. I got some couple different types of lettuces, some bunch of spinach, arugula, kale. I even got some collards and some cauliflower. I never grew cauliflower before. I got some going so far. They look good.
Oh, that's good. Cauliflower is good.
I figured I'd give them a shot.
Yeah. Keep the bugs away. Cause they like the cauliflower.
I got some I had mentioned before. I got a bunch. I always salvage like pieces of that PEX pipe, that plumbing pipe, that flexible pipe they use on homes now.
Yeah.
I was thinking about definitely making a little hoop. There's that raised garden that you built last year. I'm gonna use it mainly for like greens and stuff like that. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just flex a couple down, put a couple straps on it, and get some type of fabric to go across.
Yeah, I went and VMore or something like that. I don't know what it is. It's for some reason they want me to do a review or want me to sell it on TikTok. I only have like maybe 20 videos or something that I don't really do much on.
Yeah.
But they send me 3 foot by 50 foot paper, or it's not paper, but here, let me go
Bug
get it.
knitting.
No, not knitting.
Oh man, check! I just noticed he had the galaxy behind him.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh man, it changed. That's why I didn't notice it earlier.
Looks like the Moors somewhere.
Oh,
The Baskerville Hounds.
That's it. The Hounds of Baskerville. Was that a bat you had in your hand?
Yeah, it
no,
looked like it. It looked like those
they're
steel.
supposed to be 50 feet, so I don't
There
know. It's 3 feet woven fabric.
Woven.
Yeah. And I was thinking about putting it not so much in my beds, but on the outside, and then putting mulch on it or something, so I don't have to mow those areas, because mowing around all my beds and things is a pain in the butt, because I have to go in this way and back out this way. No, this you don't have to double. This is thick stuff.
What about craft stores? Do craft stores sell like bug netting? Do they sell that type of material?
I don't know.
You know the stores that sell like a lot of fabric?
That would be a good question for
Because
Grace.
I don't know if y'all have it in y'all's area, but we've got a craft store here in the area called Joann's or Jones.
Yeah.
And it's like they basically sell everything: artificial plants, pots, crafts. But they're closing down. They're going out of business, so they got all their stuff in there marked down right now.
Yeah, let me move this. I don't know if you guys can see how thick this is, but this stuff is thick, and it's
Oh
woven
yeah.
so the water goes through it.
Oh yeah. Here, you get what 3x50? Heck, that'd be enough to do a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up a new section. I'm gonna put for potatoes next to the house, and I'm gonna get the small skids and put down. Well, I'll put this down first, and then put the skids on top of it. That way, I don't have to worry about the weeds and stuff growing in behind it and stuff. Yeah, that's why I thought Joanne's is going out of business.
Yeah, that's it. Joanne just shoot. Heck, the one that's here, man, they've been here as long as I don't ever when they open. But yeah, they announced it last week. They're closing down. They got some stuff in there up to 50% off right now.
Yeah, the stuff I had before didn't even last the whole season because I had the section out here and I had mulch on it and everything, and I couldn't even lift it up to get the old mulch off. It just deteriorated, and I said I ain't gonna never get that stuff again. Might as well just toss the mulch on there and let it go.
That's what I do. But I got a cardboard boxes and yeah, mulch
Yeah,
or old carpet, like pieces of old carpet. I mean, it
oh,
ain't
that's
gonna hurt nothing. You just lay it down, and eventually, it's just gonna become a part of your turf.
yeah.
Old worn out rugs or runner rugs and put around there. Shoot, ain't gonna hurt nothing.
40% off at Hobby Lobby.
It's tool, it works for us. What is that? What is tool?
Uh,
Is that similar to the stuff you just had that you showed?
I don't know. Hey,
Hey,
Jim.
There
hey,
he is. Speaking of knitting, look what you caught.
yeah, I checked to see if you guys were on YouTube. I heard what saying about Joanne's Fabric going out of business.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to get a lot of stuff there. Polyurethane foam for inside loudspeaker enclosures. It's a shame.
Ziggy, I'm still waiting for them to give me the information because I told them I would do it on YouTube because I've got more of a following on YouTube than TikTok. And they said that would be fine. And I said, well, okay, give me all the information that I need for to make a video. And that was probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, and I haven't heard nothing back, which is kind of normal. I get these companies that will send me stuff to do a video review on it, and they don't give me any information on it. I mean, because I'm not going to do a review and say, hey, look, you can go search and find it on the internet.
yeah.
I want to give a link and say, hey,
Proper review, yeah.
What do you guys think they found under those pyramids? I looked that up tonight earlier.
it's a satellite that does it all.
You really want to know?
A satellite?
Yeah,
Like the kind that's in space with a computer.
yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah.
That kind of confirms what people have been saying for years, that there's hidden technology.
Oh, they've been using this stuff for weather and stuff to see, follow planes and stuff that are in real cloudy and stormy areas and stuff.
Yeah.
They can find them.
Also, that SAR could have been mounted on an aircraft that's doing a real slow circle around them.
Yeah.
That would
Oh,
give it
yeah.
a lot
I imagine, yeah, the same. Yeah, you can fix it on the aircraft.
It would give it a lot more, less travel time than being up in space.
Yeah. Because if it's only one, but you don't know how many there is. And
There could be more of those under the other pyramids, like in Peru.
well, see, that's the thing. This kind of threw things off. They said that they scanned the plateau, which means that's the whole area, because these pyramids are all lined up in a weird thing. So, and they call that area a plateau in that area. So that means they scanned more than what they said they scanned.
And how do they get those pipes that deep back in those days? Figure Elon Musk has said he thinks they had to use, like anti-gravity. Figure even the most modern machinery man has built could not place stones the size of those sandstones that are, I'm not sure if it's sandstone, all of it, but there's rocks in place that are in those three pyramids.
Yeah, those cylinders are 600 and something. I'm not going to look it up again.
Like 38. That's almost 2,000 feet deep. It's amazing.
Nate, there's 4 of them, and they all
8 of them.
No, the pyramids. There's 4 particular pyramids, and all 4 of them perfectly aligned with north, south, east, and west.
Yeah,
I forget their names, but yeah.
And the wires around those columns that go down like 600 meters. My thinking is that's some kind of inductor, a coil.
Yeah, that's why I said that's my interpretation. And the boxes below is where they store the energy.
And the thing is, when do they really find out about this? Are they telling us the truth?
They started this in 2022.
So it's
they just came out, which kind of does make sense if they want to, the first thing they seen is something inside the pyramid and they did a press release, or would they wait until they did a full makeup and got a lot of material and stuff? I don't know.
There's probably more than what they're even telling.
Oh yeah, because the way that, like I said, when they said the plateau, that's not where the pyramid is. That the plateau is in between those pyramids, where they line up, because that's what they call that area, the plateau. So when they first said they were scanning the pyramid itself to see what's inside of it, and they actually found out that it went 2 kilometers down and found all that other stuff.
I know it ain't been real publicized, but I know you can go back at least the last couple of years, and there's been several different articles a year they do these same type of scans and finding certain little anomalies here, anomalies there. Then I guess they do a mass quadrant check and see that a lot of these anomalies connect, I guess, to make a tunnel or a pathway, which eventually would lead to an end or a beginning of something, whatever that chamber is they found.
And it's funny how there's several websites had broke that news just recently.
I don't know if y'all remember specifically, but I remember specifically back when I think they only had one debate, but whenever Biden and Trump had their debate against each other, both of them mentioned the term futuristic technologies.
Yep, I remember that.
They both did, and just kind of in a sentence, and it didn't really go much further than that. But I don't know. I find stuff like that interesting too. Whatever it may be, whatever connection, if there is or there may not be.
Well, I'm sure there's a connection with what's that?
Also be getting ready for the big reveal, Just giving you tidbits here and tidbits there, and then one day,
And what would they think? Now, I wouldn't say there'd be too much out west because of all the earthquakes, or are they really earthquakes, or they're just saying there's something setting off the meters and stuff. If they ran this scan across the United States, would they see a bunch of tunnels and hidden bases and things like that? Or why didn't they? It's going on over Area 51. Whoops, we accidentally scanned that.
What if there's something under Area 51, just like what's under the pyramids?
Yeah,
maybe there could be a reason they have the base where they do, in Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, why that spot for this Area 51? You know, there's lots of talk about that.
Did you guys hear about the earthquakes today in Alaska and Panama?
Yeah, I heard the one
Yeah.
from Alaska.
Alaska, I heard.
It's like if you read a lot into the Project Blue Book, there was a government person, I'll put it that, allegedly, a government person gave him it Steven Spielberg, Close Encounters of Fifth Kind or third kind.
Third kind.
Yeah, gave him material on stuff that had already happened, like the real stuff that already happened here in the United States. And that's where he got all the ideas for the movie.
And he
And
did E.T. as well, so I guess he did get a lot of ideas.
And a lot of that, because this official guy told him, "Oh, wait a minute, you can't do that," and it was too late. He already had all that stuff.
It's like what is it? I don't know what state it's in. It might be Arizona or New Mexico, but you know the Indians. What was it? The Poblanos. They lived. Some of them lived in like they carved homes out like the side of mountains and stuff.
Yeah,
And I think at the one time they had like 4 main tribes, and to them it extended to the north, the west, the south, and the east.
mm-hmm.
Almost similar to that in a way, but you know what exactly happened to those civilizations? You know.
Yeah, they according to scientists.
If you're carving your home out of the side of a mountain,
oh, there it is.
Evidently you didn't always live in these carved mountain homes. Eventually you had to live or do something in the process of making it. You know, something like that don't happen overnight. For sure.
Thank you, Mary, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. And that'll go toward my next banana split.
Yeah, that was a pretty good looking banana split you had there.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, why do you figure? Look how hard it is to dig underground for mines, let alone doing it through the side of a mountain, which is basically one huge piece of rock at the base.
You ever see how the Romans, they did the aqueducts and stuff, how they did their mining? They would go in and like carve out little sections, and they would redirect the water to flow in there. So the water would eventually just flow in there, and it would just erode that whole hill in no time.
Yeah. And well, that's what I said, that the Romans got all this knowledge from the Egyptians.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing all this stuff, because they had all that stuff way before in Rome and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And where do the Egyptians get that technology from?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
And they had batteries back then, and the clay pot battery thing that they found in the pyramids.
Oh yeah. I mean, allegedly, but I mean, I do believe, in my opinion, there's natural ways to do things like that as far as energy goes. But I mean, just like a lot of things, you know, as much as we know about a certain topic or gardening or prepping or this, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Of what our ancestors used to know and do.
Yeah. And look how many times the history books have been redone. Because I've learned things in school, and then 10 years later, oh, that's not how it happened. It was this way.
As soon as I graduated, it was fake news.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck?
You figure when I was in high school in the 70s, you know, they were teaching us we were going into an ice age. And then we were going to run out of coal. Then there's some people that say, okay, fossil fuels are a renewable source, and it's constantly being made inside the earth. I mean, none of us have been on the inside of the earth. Then he look at some of these old sci-fi movies, Journey to the Center of the Earth, where there's like a whole different world down there.
Yeah.
It makes it wonder.
Well, that's like Eric was talking about the trenches and stuff. They say there's caves down there.
Yeah.
Now, who's to say that they're not filled with water? They could be, because we were all together, one lump sum of land.
One copy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Allegedly.
who's to say that it didn't follow, part of a continent fall down into a trench and made a. Now I don't
Yeah.
know what they would do with no sun and things like that, but who knows?
Who
Well,
knows?
like this, the Grand Canyon started as a little ditch, just like if a
Oh,
farmer
yeah.
has a little ditch in his field, and he doesn't try to even the ground out, it's just going to get deeper and deeper. If you
Mhm.
took all the water off the earth, this would just be one big rock.
Well, the Grand Canyon started as a stream, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Millions of years later,
Well,
was jumping over it.
most of the formations, when you get the cliff sides and like this, and there's water down below, it's from
Erosion.
when it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and that water had to, where it was the highest, it ran down, and it made the Mississippi, it made Snake River, all those places, because that's where all that water went down in.
But you know what? We all are professional theoretical theorists.
Conspiracy theories.
Not professional, we don't get paid.
It's like
Well, I do, but it's an allegation.
allegedly. Was it y'all ever heard of William Miller?
William Miller. It sounds familiar.
He was a Baptist preacher in Massachusetts, early to late 1800s, and it was today in 1844 when he made his prediction that Christ would make his second coming, and that would be the end of the world as they knew it. Needless to say, I don't think that happened. We're here right now, but
Did he?
yeah,
Yeah.
he made that prediction that it was today in 1844 that the world would end.
Oh.
And then some of the different sects branched off from that. Like you have the Seventh-day Advents and different whatever smaller entities or groups like that, denominations. They started branching off from his teachings, Millerism.
Interesting.
But one thing is breaking news: the world will not end tonight. It's already tomorrow in Australia.
Yep.
More at 11.
We figured there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. I've told people that are so concerned about, oh, man's destroying the planet. Well, if you're a Christian, it's in the, Jesus told the disciples in the New Testament, there will be the old heaven and the old earth will pass, and there will be a new heaven and new earth. And the big question is, why will the old heaven pass?
Maybe not so much past, maybe reborn in that final moment when everything reaches the conclusion, or when it's, I guess you could say the end, maybe. It would be reborn, because I guess maybe if the people who had already passed, however it goes, they didn't move on, obviously they would be in a place, and at that point we would all have like a mass convergence, would go in or not go in, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing I'm sure of. Okay, if there's people in heaven, they're not wearing masks.
Nah, I doubt it. And I don't even know if it would be so much like, it's all theory. I don't even know if it would be like faces like we would think about it, I think it would just be like just your spirit, your soul would be a state of being. You would just know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just know, like, that's a family member, or that's, Peter, or that's somebody.
Well,
even if
but on the other hand, you've got a lot of testimonials that people that have actually passed over and then come back
yeah.
that actually saw their loved ones. So it's kind of a because they were supposedly
Well,
created.
see, that's the thing. Did they?
Well, clinically they were dead, and then they
No,
brought
did they
back.
actually see them or just know that was them?
No, but the interviews I've seen, they actually recognized the person. Now, of course,
Yeah,
could
that's
have
what I
been their,
mean. Though they might not even know that that's just a puff of smoke or something, a spirit sitting there, but they know it's you know Aunt Lucy from 20
yeah.
years ago or something like that.
So, well, in their mind's eye,
Yeah,
that's what they saw.
yeah.
So
It was a movie I watched not too long ago. It was just like what y'all were just talking about. It's called Is God Real or Not Is God Real? It's something about it's got God in the title. But make a long story short, it's this kid. Something happens to him. He gets sick, and I mean he passes away for a minute. And allegedly, he goes up there and he meets Jesus, and he knows things now that there's no way that he could have known without
yes,
something
yep,
happening. Something
Yeah.
spiritual or out of our hands happening. He knew things. He knew what his dad. He could see what his dad and mom were doing in the hospital as they're waiting for his surgery. And he came back too, and he had all this knowledge. He started talking about his great grandfather or grandfather, and he never even met him and stuff. And
hmm
man, it was a good movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it
probably
had God in the title.
probably based off of a true story too.
It was based off a true
Yeah.
story because once the movie was over at the end, it showed a couple little snippets of the real people that it was based on.
Yep.
Every once in a while, you get a good movie that isn't Hollywooded.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
But you brought that up, Watt. I've seen a lot of stuff, interviews
Mhm.
where someone meets Christ. It's normally a younger person
yeah,
that's had an accident or whatever, and he's so happy to meet him, and he says, but it's not your time yet. But he still kind of like hangs with him for a while, and then when he comes back, he's got all of this knowledge
yeah.
that
Yeah.
he couldn't have gained.
Without something like something spiritual or out
Right.
of this realm happening. Yeah,
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat. Yeah, Trump didn't. Yeah, Trump mentioned April 2nd would be Liberation Day.
Well, that's the day after my birthday, so he at least he didn't call me out on my birthday this time.
It's okay, Holly.
He can't really say April 1st because everybody's going to think it's April Fool's Day joke.
Yep.
So he has to say the second.
yeah.
He actually said that too the other day.
What?
I'd be thinking about it
Let's say
politically. Yeah,
got to be on April 2nd.
we're not making any political decisions on the first.
No.
Just in that case,
Then they'll all go off on a tangent. Orange man
it's
bad.
like
Yeah. He's throwing April Fool's Day to the country.
Yeah,
He's a horrible president.
yeah. Let's go. Oh, I can't say that.
when I was a kid. There's a big radio show host locally. He's still on the air, but he did. It was April 1st, and I don't know how so many people actually believed it and got tricked. He went on this whole rant. He was ticked off. He said, "This is my rant for the day." And make a long story short, he said that they were changing the name of the Atlanta Braves to the Atlanta Bravados. And he went on this whole 10, 15 minute just ranting about it like it was really happening. And people was calling in. They were ticked off. The show's going on. People's laughing. And after the whole deal, he was like, April Fools, everybody. It was hilarious.
Uh,
But yeah, so many people didn't stop to think that it was April 1st or April Fool's Day.
We figured people in Milwaukee were very upset when the Braves left their city and went to Atlanta.
The Atlanta Braves are the only sports organization allegedly that had to go all the way up to the Supreme Court to get it approved to move from Milwaukee to Atlanta. I think it was in 1965.
My oldest daughter called me up on my birthday and wished me happy birthday. Oh, by the way, I got some important news. She said she was pregnant. And I'm like, oh, that's good. And I knew it was a joke because it's kind of hard. My birthday's on April 1st, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to get me. And I waited a few minutes, and April Fools. And I said, you better watch out, because you know what happens if you try to fool and it doesn't work. It usually comes true the next year. And she had a baby the 15th of March the next
Tell
year.
everybody I want $1 billion then.
Oh. Well, don't forget about me, Watt. If you get your
Shoot a bitch. Somebody, y'all got to help me spend it.
Well, then we go on our hiking trip.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Appalachian Trail fund money. Definitely, no doubt. That's fully funded.
get $100 for every stride we take.
Oh shh.
Well, this way we'll do it. You and Eric start down at the bottom, and me and Jim will start. Although, Jim, no peanut butter, please.
No,
I don't want bears chasing me through the woods trying to get at your peanut butter.
You'd have a freaking squirrel on you. Oh.
It was probably a squirrel.
5 gallons worth of peanut butter.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Hey, Pat Evans.
no doubt.
Wonder what kind of taxes Mary Friedland's talking about. Probably property taxes.
Hey, make it Meg. Good to see you.
Yo, yeah, property, yeah. Yeah. You feel like you're not paying enough. Your home seems to have increased in value suddenly. So, yeah, we're going to need a few more shekels.
Yeah, and we're going to raise your millage rate. And even though we have there's less children in the local schools, but we're going to raise it anyway. You know.
Yeah, do they send you guys a thing that shows where your tax money going and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
we get a breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly a breakdown.
Yeah.
Then you get, like here, you get what you paid last year, and then what it's going to cost if the budget passes, what it's going to be if it doesn't pass, and then it breaks it down. If you pay on time, like within the first 3 months that it's due, it's the same price. And
Wow,
then
3 months?
Then they kick it, and then they kick it again, and then they kick it again.
Yeah,
it might not. Maybe it's 2 months. But maybe it's
we don't. We get 14 days.
We get a month to get the discount.
And then there's a late fee, and then 30 days. It goes to court to get foreclosed.
Because I've had people tell me, "Oh, don't pay your property taxes; they'll do nothing." I said, "They'll do something because look at on the county website, sheriff sales."
Oh yeah,
sure.
People, I mean, I've seen so many people say, "I don't pay income taxes." Same thing. People that don't pay their income taxes, the IRS will come in, put a lien on your house, then it'll be court-ordered sheriff sale.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, we got our school district newsletter in the mail today, and it looks like nationally, out of 100, nationally the average is 40 for math. I mean, math. You figure back when I was in school, we were like 1, 2, or 3. This country, the education's just gone down the toilet.
40 on a scale of what?
Actually, let me find it. It's in. I put it in the trash pile.
Yeah, there you go. That's the best place for it. 40 on a scale out of 100. That ain't good at all.
No. That's why he's giving it back to the states, getting rid of the.
Yeah, everybody's trying to figure out in the city here why our taxes are going up so much in the last 3 years. Because every year it's going up $200 and $300 and.
Because the Uncle Joe was giving all that money away.
Well, it's not because of that. It's because we just built a brand new fire station and a sheriff's department. And now they're redoing the whole street, the main street, which is 2nd Street. And not to mention all the plumbing that they had to redo because it was from 1918 or something like that.
I thought you were talking about here for a minute. Man. Yeah, it's sad, man, because we got a place here. There's a ballpark. It's called Master City. And they had heck, I played baseball out there as a kid. My nephews played, and you ride past it now and it's just all weeded up and broken down. But you look right beside it and they just built on and added on and extended the jail right beside it. And I said, well, dang, we see where all the money's going.
Yep.
And it's a shame, man. So many kids played baseball in that field now. You can't even go out there and walk around in it. It's bad.
Yeah, I'm suggesting to all my kids to homeschool the grandkids.
Yeah.
Actually, grade 3 to 8, the national average is 40 out of 100, and the school district I live in is at about 60.
Mm.
I mean, that shows you how bad the education system is in this country.
Well,
And math is the lowest. Actually, they score higher and, reading, English language arts. They do better in science, too. Math is the absolute lowest.
well, and my son did this because he wasn't a school person. Every 9 weeks they have a test, or they have tests to determine your grade. So that means he didn't do any work in between those 9-week periods, and all he would do is take the test at the end of the 9 weeks, and that was his grade. And he actually had better grades than most people in school because they would study all the time and do all their homework. He never had homework. He never brought books home. None of that stuff. And I can't say, you're bad because you get bad grades. He got pretty good grades. And I'm not one that like, oh, you're a horrible person because you didn't get straight A's or this and that. Yeah. The way I did it, I says, as long as you're getting over a D, I don't care. D's are too close to being an F, and then you can fail. So I said, just be above, C and above, and I don't care. And I never pressured any of my kids, and they were all, except for my boy that skimmed through because he only did the test every 9 weeks. He got the C's and B's, but the rest of them all A's.
Well, I heard on Fox Business earlier in the week, Bushcraft, they said 40% of the kids that go to inner schools in the city's high school can't even do simple arithmetic. They got a high school diploma. That's hard to believe that they can't do simple arithmetic.
Well, the ones that coming after my kids, they don't know how to read a clock that has hands on it and stuff. They don't know how to digital. They don't know how to read cursive, and they don't know how to give change.
How do they read text then on their cell phone?
That's not in cursive.
Okay.
That's, and most of it is abbreviated nowadays. If it's a big word, they abbreviate it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that just a few letters, they understand what that means.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like, okay.
Think about it like this. We was talking about the Egyptians and the pyramids, and you think about one of the ways they had were hieroglyphs. In the future, people find stuff and they say, what are these symbols that we use? Emojis are now our hieroglyphs.
Hey, Jim, you got a tab.
I got a what?
You got something open.
Yeah, you're getting feedback. Did you move your mic too close to your speaker?
No, that everything's where it's supposed to be.
Oh.
If you got a what, you got a problem. You got a problem.
Do you still hear it?
Well, it's only when we talk. That wasn't as bad though.
I don't hear it.
Well, you don't because it's coming through your mic. Oh, it's good now. I don't hear it now.
Yeah.
Whatever
Check.
you did.
It could be someone else background noise. It's quiet in here. Holly's asleep. The wife's asleep.
Be an alien spacecraft or
Oh
something.
yeah.
It's an orb.
Being around so many homeschooler or homestead people and stuff that do the homeschooling thing, you can tell the difference in the kids that go to school. I'm not saying they're bad or they're one smarter than other, but you can tell the difference in the kids.
They're better disciplined than the kids that go to public school, probably.
Yeah, somewhat. And
Better manners.
yeah, and they actually help their parents out and stuff. And the one family that I interviewed not too long ago in North Carolina, they homeschool, and they don't ask the kid to help them do this or that. If it's gardening, they're out there doing it because they enjoy it.
Yep.
And not many kids want to do gardening unless they grew up in a situation where their parents were farmers or had a big garden, because it involves doing the work and getting your hands dirty and sweating in the summer.
I am starting seeing a lot more younger people, like around my age or maybe a little bit younger.
Oh, it's back again, Jim.
It's Jim.
Are you setting closer to your mic?
No, I'm sitting in the same spot I was before.
Oh, okay.
Because I have the volume turned off on YouTube completely. I have it muted. See, and I hear stuff in the background.
Check.
Check.
I think I hear voices coming from Eric's.
Breaker 19 for radio check.
Sounds like a little kid.
I think it's gun smoke.
But yeah, I'm seeing like people around my age or younger getting into gardening and stuff again. So man, it's good to see.
Hey, 101.
Are we going over there later, or?
Oh crap! I forgot. I didn't even look see if he was going live, or did he reschedule, or is he going live at 9?
Okay, he has your channel on now. Jeff's on the panel, I think.
Oh, we're live right now?
Yeah.
Streaming a stream right now.
I think 101 had a beard trimming.
I don't believe it. I gotta see it.
He's laughing now. Because I switched to his channel for YouTube, and you guys don't hear anything. I don't even hear anything going on his channel. With the mic, with the volume muted. Christy Cat's over there.
Yeah, I heard him whistle.
Now Jeff's showing his beard. Amazes me how Jeff's beard's completely gray, but his hair is still, somewhat dark.
As
he stepped off the curb, he entered into the Twilight Zone.
Hey, do you guys hear my heat? My furnace just went on. Can you hear that?
No, we just hear us when we talk.
Okay. There's times I've had to mute the volume on people's channel because Holly is dreaming and then making growling sounds in her sleep.
Come on now, you know that's you growling in your sleep. Don't put that on Holly.
And she's a big growler.
Well, I guess we can head over to 101s. I should hopefully this week I'll be over on the Vineyard Chicks. Hopefully there's no more windstorms.
Oh, it was windy here. I didn't do any work today, first day all week. It was so windy out here. It got to the high 40s. It felt so cold.
Yeah. Yesterday
You know,
was
it's funny.
in the 20s.
It's going to get cold tonight. The barometer dropped today. After the storm, it dropped. Isn't that weird? You figure after we get, a cold spell, after a rain, the barometric air pressure usually goes up, and this time it went down.
Yeah,
Something's going on that I can't.
Lows of 20s all week.
Something's going on that I can't explain with the weather.
It's wintertime. Oh no, it's not winter anymore. Is
It's
it?
spring.
Yeah. I March is winter to me still.
You figure April. Okay, Easter is really late this year. It's as late as can be. I think it's on the 20th.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and we're going to head on over to 101s and see what he's doing, if he's still alive. And I might see you Monday again, so I might actually switch back to Monday since everybody went to Tuesday all of a sudden. So we'll have to see. I don't know. Every time I think I got a good spot, I find out there's other people there. Anyways, we will see you probably Monday or Tuesday. If not, everybody have a blessed week, and we'll catch you later.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you.